Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the Skoda Kushaq. This is the 1 liter, the 1.0, and I've already done a vlog of this car. You can click somewhere here to see it. However, I'm doing a quick recap, and also since after that I've driven the Taycan as well as the new XUV 700. Well, things have changed a bit. You can see that is a 1 liter engine. There's no insulation right there, but still the motor is actually quite silent. Typical Skoda design language, looks very much like a Skoda. 93% localization for an aggressive price point and a lot of cost cutting here and there, but still a great package. We'll come to that in a bit. First and foremost, the lights are LEDs for the DRL, okay, for this also. However, that's a projector actually. It doesn't get complete LEDs. This is a non-LED, the indicator, and the fog light is also non-LED. Now, of course, on the Taycan, it has more LEDs as such. Chrome is plastered almost everywhere, so a lot of smart design elements. However, this is actually a small car, which we cannot deny in terms of size. It's kind of on the smaller side. Thankfully, it has a long wheelbase and great packaging, which results in good space on the inside. I like the design of the alloy wheels. The tire size 205/55/17, Skoda written there again. Chrome, they did a fantastic job with the chrome and the design of the car, because it actually looks very impressive and it looks so much like a Skoda. Chrome on the door handles as well. That is the request sensor. You can press it and it's on both the sides, unlike in Hyundai where they cut cost by not offering it on both the sides. Obviously, you have to compromise between, certain features here and there and all between all the brands. You see there is chrome here, and this is sort of a piano black finishing as well. Roof rails and a shark fin antenna, which is again finished in gloss black. The car is a little dirty because I kind of took it on bad roads as well. However, there's a chrome line there as well. Skoda boldly written. Again, very typical Skoda design language. Indicators, not LEDs, neither is the reverse light. I love this crystal treatment on this car. It's also pretty awesome. So, we're quickly going to open the boot of the vehicle. There are the parking sensors. There are 3. The XUV gets 2. 1 up for Skoda here. Anyways, let's open this, and there is the reverse parking camera. The boot is actually decent size. However, it's not as big as its rivals. Now, this is a 5-seater. And they've done some smart bits by offering all these hooks and stuff so that you can slot in your luggage. There's a light placement as well, and you can split forward the seat if you so wish to increase the boot carrying capacity. There you see it's a 60/40, and it's so easy to do it. I like it, okay. And this is also a nice touch for sure. That is a reverse parking camera. So as I see it, Skoda has actually done fantastic packaging on this car, because there's so much space on offer at the rear, and somehow they managed to get everything right here, because there's good amount of legroom, there's good amount of knee room. The under thigh support is also nice. The seat firmness is also spot on, and you've got 3 adjustable headrests at the rear. So easy to operate this. I like the way it has been done for sure. Door pockets are massive as well. I kid you not. Look at this. There is so much space on offer. There's good amount of under thigh support as well. Actually, they've done fantastic in that regard, and headroom could have been slightly better for sure, but it's more than enough for me as well. That's surprising. There's a hook here, twin cup holders right there, and they always have certain aspects which are very Skoda like there's a smartphone holder here, which is not there in the Volkswagen Taycan, in spite of the fact that she has almost half of the parts with it, or more than half actually. 2 USB-C charging sockets, rear AC vents, and this is almost flat, so 3 people can sit in, but the cabin is not wide enough. This stitching is also pretty awesome. However, it's not consistent. There are some inconsistencies in the stitching, unfortunately. Light placement on the top, handle to hold on to, but there is no damping here, so you see it kind of makes noise. There's a hook there. Again, the roof is a little flimsy as such, and the material which is used could have been a lot better. That is the dashboard design. I like the way the dashboard has been done. It gets 6 airbags as well. Plenty of safety tech on this car. Of course, Skoda believes in safety at the forefront, but then Mahindra also believes the same. We can't say the same about other competitors in the segment though, which offer a lot more features like a 360-degree parking camera, front and rear parking sensors, 360-degree camera, front camera, auto hold function and whatnot. That's not there in this car, so it misses out on a lot of features, in spite of the fact that they try to come to an attractive price point. For that price, you expect more features, but the seats are really very comfortable, and they've got the seats spot on whichever seat you sit in, but no electric adjust for the seat, not even for the driver. No one touch up down for the power windows. It's only there for the driver's side, and unlike what we have seen in other Skoda cars and VW cars. Why is it going down? I press the up button. Is that the anti-pinch? Maybe it must be having it. We can test that as well. So here, if you keep the button pressed, it does not put all the windows down, which is actually the case with all other Skoda and VW cars. There is the anti-pinch function, Yeah, it brings it down as well. Now it's making some sound because obviously the engine is running. We're going to close the door. We're going to turn off the indicators. Dashboard is very aesthetically pleasing. There's a proper place to keep your key as well. I did not slot that in its proper place though. Twin cup holders, good damping. This slides ahead. There's storage space here as well. There's so much storage space. There's a wireless charging pad right there. Glove box is decent size. It gets cooling function too. And there you get a mirror. Here you don't get anything at all but a holder. There's a holder here as well. So a lot of Skoda bits in that sense. There's a 10-inch screen. It's actually quite nice and visible. And you see it gives you driving data as well. And it has got these apps too. So we're going to press Ghana app. It says no internet connection. It's got connected car. Unfortunately though, it's not working at the moment. And with connected car, you can do a lot of things, but you cannot remotely turn on the car unlike its competitors. And the volume control is here. There should have been a physical button. That's a bit cumbersome to operate. We're going to get into radio. It says browse by category. None of that is working at the moment because there is no internet connectivity. That's what the car says at the moment. We're going to get into radio to listen to the audio system. Audio quality is decent, it's not great, and again Skoda has offered us Skoda sound, not a branded audio system, unlike all its rivals which are offering either Bose or Sony or something or the other. So there's another missed opportunity. There's storage space here. I don't think anything is going to stay there. Auto dimming inside rear view mirror. That is the sunroof of the car. It doesn't get a panoramic sunroof unlike its rivals. So yeah, there again you see certain bits have been compromised to get to an attractive price point in the Skoda. It says Skoda here just in case you forget which car you're driving. I love the steering wheel. This 2-spoke steering wheel is really nice, and I love this knurled finishing as well. Again, this is very premium, and this is to browse through that multi-information display on the instrument cluster. The instrument cluster is very old indeed. In fact, this analog unit is very similar to the one which I see on Nuren's Skoda Laura, which is kind of sitting in the museum at the moment. Okay, so they could have offered an all-digital unit, which the Taycan gets, and Skoda is like, we will offer it with the Monte Carlo, of course. Anyways, yeah, this could have been a lot better. And they have not put damping on this. Yeah, there is no damping on the vent. So cost cutting has been done in areas which you will very easily not find. So no one's really going to care much about it. This is a AC control which is really very nice and slick to operate. Yeah, that is really awesome. It gets ventilated seats, and it has got 2 settings for the ventilation, but only for the front seats. Of course, this is to lock the vehicle. And there are 2 USB-C charging sockets right there. There's a 12-volt charging socket here. Steering wheel is adjustable both for reach as well as rake, and it's got automatic wipers as well. So here, let's use the wipers right away. You see, good amount of spray on offer, lot of soapy spray, and you know what? It's got automatic headlights. It's got a lot of auto functions here and there. Let's get into reverse, which means that I have to push this gear lever down. There is a reverse parking camera. Honestly, the resolution of the camera could have been a lot better, and some physical controls would be nice. Now, this is for the traction control button. A proper physical button for the traction control would be a great touch. And you know what? I can nitpick a lot in terms of quality because quality levels could be a lot better. Like hard plastics are aplenty, and at this price point you would expect Skoda to offer better plastics, if not that, maybe more features, which again they're not doing because they believe that the package in terms of the suspension, the chassis, the driving, the engines are fantastic. Well, let's start driving right away. But before we go, I need to tell you some things which are a problem here, which is with this infotainment system. Okay, it's nice and slick to use and all that, but beech mein na it skips audio, and secondly, it also skips Bluetooth. So if I'm on a call via the Bluetooth system, all of a sudden it will transfer it on my phone. So there are some glitches in this system for sure. And the other issue is at times when I'm on a call, music is also playing. Both of them are happening simultaneously. I can't multitask. I cannot assign one ear to listen to the phone call and one ear to listen to music. So Skoda needs to sort the infotainment system for sure. But some nice elements are there, like you can actually put in stuff here. And then the door pockets are also massive. So in terms of practicality, awesome. In terms of overall fit finish, things could be slightly better. In terms of build quality, not typical Skoda like. You know and you realize this is particularly made for India. The horn is also made for India. Not really made for India actually. It should have been a little louder, like the typical wind tone, something which comes with Skoda cars. In the older models, that should have been offered here. For sure. And even the engine start button now, that's also placed in the wrong place. It should have been like somewhere here. It would be just easier. This looks like an afterthought to me. But what is really nice is this chrome treatment. Look at this. Beautifully done around the AC vents. The dashboard design also is something I really like. Obviously, a lot of it is shared with the Taycan. With Mahindra offering ADAS at a similar price, this car really needs to drive well to justify its price. Alright, we're all set to go, which means turning off the air conditioning of the car, and we're going to turn off traction control right away. Traction control off as well. Into first gear, handbrake down. Just changes mode as well. Hazard lights off. Left foot on the clutch, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor, soft limiter below 4000 RPM, and it almost reaches 100 kilometers per hour in second gear itself. That is the level of tall gearing, and the third gear is even taller. The reason for tall gearing is, of course, in the interest of fuel efficiency. Now this is the Kushaq 1.0. 90% people, or even more than that, are actually going to be buying this one. Yeah, the 1 liter engine, and that too in the manual transmission. There's obviously an automatic which is not a dual clutch. It is a torque converter automatic offered with this 1 liter engine. And straight off the bat, let me tell you that these switches are a bit cumbersome, because by mistake you keep pressing them and then the volume started coming, and then I keep changing the modes here on the multi-information display as well, which I don't want to. Yeah, rotary ones, not that cool, although they look fantastic even in terms of the feel good factor. Very nice indeed. It's got wireless Apple CarPlay as well as wireless Android Auto, but we are driving the car, so let's talk about the engine. This 1 liter engine powers a slew of Volkswagen cars. I don't know why the volume keeps increasing all of a sudden. There's some issue with this infotainment system, not happy with that. Anyways, so this 1 liter engine powers a slew of cars from the group, which means the Polo, the Rapid, the Vento, and of course again the volume is increasing. Dude, what's up with you? Okay, and then it also powers the Taycan and this car itself, the Kushaq. The result is that performance is actually very impressive for a small sized engine. Just a 1 liter unit, yet it performs fantastically well, because it produces 115 horsepower at 5000 to 5500 rpm and 178 newton meters of torque, which comes in at a low 1750 rpm and peaks all the way around 4250 rpm. So you see, the torque band is absolutely wide, giving it a great mid-range punch. In fact, the wide spread of the torque results in absolutely fantastic performance. The performance is really noteworthy here, and it is so freaking smooth for a 3-cylinder engine. At idle, you can hear a bit of the rocking of the engine. Some vibrations can be felt, but once you get going, there is absolutely nothing that can be felt. That is the level of smoothness on offer. Absolutely stunning indeed. And then the brakes are also very nice on this car. It's got multi-collision braking as well, and a slew of electronic aids, which definitely helps its cause. Front wheel drive, of course, spins the wheels like crazy. No rear discs, rear drums, yet it has good brakes. Into first gear. The wheels will definitely spin because there is so much grunt going through the front wheels. Now the peak torque is not till 4250 rpm but 4500 rpm. So yeah, very wide indeed, and the gearing is also super wide on this car. Thankfully though, it is an absolute joy to use the clutch and the gearbox, because you have to continuously keep downshifting to extract the best from this motor, because there is lag lower down. There is turbo lag lower down. In fact, below 2000 rpm, it kind of struggles. Even when you're driving in the city, you have to really downshift again and again to get the best out of this engine, and that is a bit of a problem, that turbo lag from this motor, which means that you always have to work the gearbox. The gearbox is actually very smooth shifting. The clutch is also on the lighter side, and the steering wheel is obnoxiously light at lower speeds. Like, look at it, it's so light, yet it weighs up beautifully well at higher speeds, has good amount of feel in the center at higher speeds, and amazing high speed stability as well. They've knocked the ball out of the park when it comes to high speed stability and driving manners with this car. Absolutely fantastic steering wheel, phenomenal engines, and beautiful ride as well. Yeah, the ride quality is absolutely stunning. This MQB A0iN platform, which is the MQB platform which has been Indianized, is actually super duper awesome. Okay, it is inherently stiff, and that stiffness you can feel over, say, really bad bumps at slower speeds. Again, this volume thingy, yeah. And you know what, that plushness which its rivals have with the soft suspension, that is missing, but who cares? Because for the most part, the ride is absolutely brilliant. Big potholes, small potholes, nothing, no problem. This car absolutely annihilates everything. That is the level of ride quality on offer, and that's what is German engineering all about. And this is what Indian engineering is all about, the made in India. This touchscreen thing doesn't work really well. I'm not happy with this at all, but I'm really happy with the driving manners of this car, because I'm not saying that Indian engineering is bad. Indian engineering is fantastic, but they've not done enough testing and R&D. And I've faced this with most Indian cars. They don't really put too much effort into the infotainment system in terms of testing, and there are a lot of glitches. Talk about the Mahindra Thar or the XUV 700 or even the Tata Harrier or the Safari for that matter. They don't work flawlessly like is the case with the Korean siblings, where the infotainment works flawlessly, although the driving manners are not that great, which all the other cars I mentioned do possess pretty nicely. Now you see, the steering is so light, now you can easily maneuver it, and then over these, there it goes without any issue whatsoever. I would say the gearbox is such a freaking joy to use. I absolutely love driving this car. 6-speed unit, phenomenal. engine is very free revving, red lines all the way to 6,500 RPM, and the balance around the corners is also fantastic. There's a good amount of grip, of course, and the better thing here is that the best thing here is that the ride and handling balance is by far the best in the segment. Nothing even comes close. Obviously, I'm not talking about the Harrier here because the Harrier seems to be a segment up, at least half a segment up. When you compare to the Korean rivals, this is just fantastic. The ride and handling balance is just in another league altogether, and this is why you're paying so much money for this car, for the ride and handling balance alone. It is such a joy to drive this machine, absolutely phenomenal. And here we are in 6th gear right now, around 100 kilometers per hour. I get hard on the gas, we are above 2000 RPM, so it will move along pretty nicely. The issue really happens below 2000 RPM where that turbo lag is really very pronounced. That is actually quite well masked in the automatic somehow, the torque converter unit, but the torque converter automatic is actually 1.5 seconds slower than this one, and this is 2 seconds slower than the 1.5. Okay, it takes 11.5 seconds to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, which is actually decently quick for the size of this engine. This is actually performing very nicely indeed. The advantage of a smaller size engine is that it is cheaper for them to produce. This is actually made in India, localized and whatnot, and then better fuel efficiency as well. They should return somewhere between 10 to 15 kilometers per liter depending on your driving style. And then of course the most important aspect of a small engine is emissions, right? Emissions, that also it takes care very well. So as I see it, the Kushaq with the 1 liter manual is absolutely fantastic and kind of seems bang for the buck, because this one costs 17 lakhs 9,000 rupees on road Mumbai. Meanwhile, if I have to compare this with the bigger 1.5 liter engine, I have to pay 1,94,000 more for it, and for the automatic I end up paying 1,45,000 more. Here you see, over these expansion joints you don't feel much. Off we go. It has a little bit of a thrum, but then near the red line it sounds really nice, and then you want to make a quick lane change, no problem at all. This car is able to do everything so beautifully well. That is the reason why you're paying that additional money, compromising on certain features, not getting an air purifier, but hey, who cares? Just drive this beast. Now when you want to make a quick U-turn, the turning radius is actually quite small. That's not an issue at all. Onto the throttle, steering self-centers very fast. And another interesting point is that the 1 liter is actually more fun to drive than the 1.5 because it's not very nose heavy. The 1.5 obviously is a 4-cylinder unit, an additional cylinder, heavier, higher capacity. That doesn't give it pinpoint accuracy like this particular car. But you know what, these roads, no problem. Look at the car. Okay, it crashes through it because of the stiffness of the suspension, but it makes some noise. It doesn't rattle you at all. Okay, and there you see, again we're going to hit a few of them. It doesn't rattle it, it takes it in its stride beautifully well, and the light is right on my face. But around the corners, I so enjoy driving this Kushaq. It's absolutely stunning. You know what could have made it even better? A diesel engine, because a diesel is a diesel is a diesel. If Skoda had offered a diesel engine now, trust me, Creta sales would have reduced dramatically, because a petrol engine, although fantastic with all the turbocharging and the direct injection, cannot return the fuel efficiency of a diesel and the torque rush of a diesel. Now there's plenty of torque in this car, but a diesel obviously offers more torque as well. The range actually starts at 12.33 lakhs and goes all the way till 20.66 lakhs on road Mumbai. And I'll tell you what, the entry level price might be on the higher side, but they give a lot of kit even on the lower trims. It's not like a completely stripped down variant without an infotainment system. So yeah, decently equipped models, even the lower trims, which means that you get bang for your money considering the strong mechanical package here. Fantastic chassis, amazing suspension, superb engines. A diesel is definitely missed, and a steering which obviously has a lot of feel, good amount of weight and feedback. This is a fun car to drive, and that's the reason why the Kushaq, in spite of being smaller in terms of size and no longer being the most powerful in the segment, the 1.5 liter was claimed to be the most powerful at 150 horsepower, but now the XUV 700 takes that crown. I know a lot of people are going to get confused whether they should buy the XUV 700 or they should get the Kushaq. I don't think Mahindra buyers are going to cross shop to Skoda or vice versa, but this car's USP has to be the build quality. It's not as great as the traditional global Skoda models like say the Octavia or the Fabia or the Yeti or the Superb, but still it's much better than anything else in the segment. And on that discovery stand, and thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, that's a like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I'm going to read each and every comment of yours again. So please leave a comment below. Bye, see you, take care.